Good evening, everybody. Can you hear me okay? Yeah, it's not very loud tonight. All right. Okay. All right, good evening. Welcome to the Town of Acton Selectmen's meeting of May 26, 2021. We'll call the meeting to order and do the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll have two of them. All righty. We'll start with the Town Administrator's weekly update.
Good evening. First, so as we all sit here, mask-free, just confirmation from the Board of Selectmen that we are going to follow the governor's mandate, which was effective May 24th. Vaccinated or not, you no longer needed to wear masks, so assuming that that's the direction of the board, we'll continue that way and just make it optional to people as they come into the office.
Right.
Okay. With that being said, the next question is the board going to consider opening some things back up, first of all, in regards to public hearings? Will the board consider allowing public hearings to be held inside the office, inside the building? The planning board, for example, has one scheduled coming up in June, and if there are no more social distancing guidelines and masks don't have to be required, can they have it in person?
I don't see why not. I mean, yeah.
Okay. So if we are going to, so public hearings will be able to be held in the building again. What about the use of the town hall? The Lions Club has reached out to me and they are anxious to have a breakfast. It's been a long year plus without Lions Club, and the phone's ringing already about birthday parties and shingdings of other people that use this hall. So what is the board's thought on those kinds of things?
Public hearings, we should be able to do that.
Yeah, we're open, yeah.
So with that being said, we will probably stop the additional cleanings, because if we're having private events, I mean, the town shouldn't be paying for, cleaning after those events. Are we still trying to do them
I would at least try to...
in between meetings, after town meetings? Or
like tonight. I mean, I think we should still do that for a little while, but...
Yeah.
And let people know if they're gonna come in, we would like you to, make sure you just wipe down everything, sanitize, but I don't think we...
Making an effort.
Yeah,
Okay,
please.
got it, will do. But we'll continue to compensate to do anything town-related. Okay? And Lions Club you're good with?
Yeah.
Excellent. FYI that it is audit time. I know it's we're starting this Friday with a conference call. Looks like we have a new representative that's going to be doing our audit this year, so we've got a conference call scheduled with him on Friday. Pre-audit is scheduled for June 10th and 11th. Somewhere in front of you, you have the assessing sheet for the property on Goose Pond Road, West Shore Drive. This is the Ruby Reed property that the town got by foreclosure. Very popular piece of property. We get probably a call a day on it. I did have O'Donnell's and Associates last time they were in town go out and take a look at it, and he is comfortable with the land value of $39,750. The town has the building assessed at $8,500. I think that all parties agree that the building's going to have to come down. It's been vacant for many years. Rodents have made quite a home in it. It appears people have been staying in there. It's trash.
People have been staying in there?
People have been staying there. When the town acquired it legally, we did get it boarded up and did our best, but people have definitely been through that property. It's probably going to cost more to clean it up and take it down than it's worth. The interim code enforcement officer does believe it's a buildable lot, but that's not something that we will... I mean, that's his opinion based on it being grandfathered. That's going to be $1 million question when people are interested in placing their bids for it. So we'll defer all questions down there.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So it won't be listed in the bid anywhere, but the question for you guys is that we're going to put together this sealed bid that the town will start advertising. It'll probably be advertised for at least 2 or 3 weeks to give us a chance to get through town meeting and elections. But what would you like the minimum bids to be at?
Do you think maybe we should talk to a real estate company or something?
No, I mean, we've talked to the assessors and
Okay,
legal. I mean, you can see what the land value is worth. You can see what the town has owed in back taxes. You're gonna add at least a $500 administrative fee on there to do all of the closing.
$5,000 minimum.
We're thinking closer to 40.
Oh, really?
Well, that's what I,
Yeah,
yeah.
based on the land,
Because it's
based on the
saying
land value of the property and what the,
Have we ever done that?
it's probably been 15 years since we've sold a town-owned piece of property.
Yeah, I
We
just-
haven't sold anything with a building on it for many
It says
years.
the land value is valued at 40.
Right.
Okay?
And the building is not.
$40,000. So you got land valued at 40. And then the building's valued at 85, but they said the building's gonna get torn down. It's gonna cost money to get it torn down.
Right.
So.
So the piece of
you're at-
land as it is worth at least
It
$40,000.
says 48 here, so, I mean, wouldn't you ask for?
Well, 48, that's with the building, right? If you look
Okay,
above,
right.
does the land say 39? I don't
Oh,
have a
okay,
copy
I
of
see
it.
what you're saying, so take the land out, so still 40, but then you've got cost.
I mean, this is, I'm assuming this is not a piece of property that you want to sell for $6,000. I mean, it's,
No, but
No.
if, you know, obviously if it's worth this much money, somebody will be on it, but, I can see 10,000 or something like that, minimum. But, put your minimum almost what it's worth.
well,
It's
the
kinda-
town hasn't reassessed in probably 10 years based on its location and being a
Well, I
buildable
know the
lot.
lot, but
Can
we
this-
don't even know if it's a buildable lot or not.
I'm
But
just
the
telling you
code
the
enforcement
information
just said
I'm
it was, right? I mean, this is what we're being told. But-
It's a very small lot, there's wetlands, resource protection all over the place over there.
Would it be grandfathered, though?
Well, as long as you use the same footprint, but it's a house trailer. So, you know, there would have to be some, research done into it, but I'm just thinking, I mean, obviously if the lot is worth as much as this, and we, you know, we'll get way over our minimum. But to put the minimum that high, I just don't think is a good idea.
That's your call, that's what, I'm just telling you what I mean, we've asked the assessors and all the people that do those kind of things, and,
I think I'm gonna go with what the assessor says at 40, I'm sorry.
I mean,
But, you know, I
and you
just,
can put it off a week and we
I
can
mean,
gather
do we
more information,
generally
and there's
do
something.
it less?
We haven't
I know,
sold, that's what I'm
okay,
saying, so every
if it
time the
hasn't
town,
been reassessed in 10 years,
it's gonna go up, the value of the property is gonna go
right,
up.
so it's gonna be worth more than this.
So if the property sells in 2021, based on the warrant article, it's going to go in the capital improvement account. Based on, if it sells in 21, 22, it will go back into the undesignated fund. So we need to talk about the closure date as well. We need to talk about what, you know, they have to have a deposit within, you know, 24, 48 hours. I mean, so there are some things to think about, and there's no real rush on your part. If you want me to reach out to someone, to, you know, a couple of agents, I can, but I mean, O'Donnell's is your assessor.
Right,
Or we can wait until
I
it
want
comes
to reach
back.
out to a real estate agent, because then, you know, I mean, a real estate agent really doesn't want to get involved unless they're gonna get a percentage of it.
I mean, I think we have enough good ones in town that would might give us an off-the-record quote, but.
right, like what is something of this, you know, what's something like this going for? Or, yeah, I'd like to wait till, you know, Ed gets back, see what he has to say too, if it's not a big rush.
Yeah, I mean, we've owned it for several months now, another week's not gonna hurt, and if there's anything
Let me
that,
just
rush
think
at all.
about it.
yeah, no, well, I mean,
I just-
we do have a liability issue, because we are carrying it on our insurance. So, I mean, we are anxious to, you know,
Okay,
the auditors, I mean, there are people who would like to see it off, where it's a building that we're not really policing, if you will. But it is covered, so.
and the suggestion from the auditors,
Not the auditors, the assessor.
The assessor,
The auditor wouldn't make a recommendation on that. But think about it, think about what kind of number you're looking at, but also think about what kind of deposit you'd be looking for, how quickly, the turnaround time of, closing and that type of thing, because a lot of people wanna know that when they bid.
I'm on the site there, Municipal, and it might be something, you know, all the municipalities in the area, they have stuff there, if they're selling and stuff, this might be something you want to put on there.
Yeah, I expect to get, I'm not, you know, and I'm just, if I estimated, I bet we get, you know, at least 15 bids on it. I mean, this is a very popular property that a lot of people want. When I tell you we get calls daily, and everyone has seen the assessed land value. So I mean,
Yep.
all right, that's all I have for tonight, Madam Chair.
alrighty. Warrants and bills, I know we both signed.
Sign it.
I need a motion to approve the agenda.
Make a motion, we approve the agenda.
I guess I'll second that. So it's been moved and seconded. We're in favor. Minutes of the last meeting, I went through those, and the minutes of the last meeting, I guess I need to make a motion to accept the minutes of May 19th, 2021.
Second that.
Moved and seconded, all in favor? Okay. So minutes are done. Department head committee chairs. All right. Last week, we made an announcement, and tonight we have our new code enforcement officer. His name is Jason Sivigny. Did I say that right? No? All right, how do we say it? Come on.
If he's honest.
How do you? Sivigny, okay. Would you like to come up for a minute? Jason, when he came in, you know, we went through his paperwork and stuff, and he has a really strong background in construction for the past 14, 15 years. He's also working on getting a degree in construction management, which seems to kind of fall right in with this job. So we're happy to have you. And if you'd like to say a little bit about yourself and, you know.
Well, like she said, I've been in construction for quite some time, and over the last few years, I decided to go back to school to pursue my construction management degree. So this job came about, and the two kind of go together really well. So they hired me, and I'm here. So looking forward to working with people of Acton as well as the contractors working within Acton.
All right, good. Do you have anything you?
Yep, no, when we interviewed him, he felt like the right guy for the job, liked his background and his, the personality. We think he's gonna do a good job. He says he's gonna get right on his, certification, you know, he's gotta get his certificates and stuff, classes. We felt, with Jason, we'll be able to start fresh and get all certified up, and we hope him well.
Looking forward to it.
Well, he's doing classes and stuff and learning. We still have.
Yeah, so just for the public's
Yep.
clarification, so Mr. Demers will work closely with Mr. Sivigny. He is still, will have to sign off, but Jason's gonna work quickly to get his certifications, and we've got lots of resources for him. I spoke to Paul Demers today, who is the state code enforcement, and we've already sent him out with a ton of manuals, and we've got a training plan in place, so we're gonna work diligently at getting that done.
Great. Well, thank you very much for coming in, and, all right, we'll see you soon. What do we have next? All right, old business, A, Flat Ground Road.
So I have gone back to emails, all the way back to 2006. I actually showed Mrs. Kimberly Stacy Horn all of the emails from Maine Municipal, and it was a recap of memories as I went through everything that has come across our legal files over the years. We've went through the Flat Ground Road file. The MMA emails that I have were in that folder, and those are the ones we turned over. I know they're not the ones referenced. If, with your permission, I wanted to ask Mr. Dennis if he, by chance, had his. If not, my last reach out would be to possibly see if Maine Municipal might have a record of it, because my gut says they would.
I haven't had fun.
Okay.
And that's what I was wondering if.
Yep, so we'll reach out to them. I mean, we have the time frame within a couple of years. I don't know how they're gonna take, I've never asked them before to kind of dig that back up, but I feel like they would be responsive, so that will be our next task over the week. So we haven't forgot about you, Michael. It is on our list.
All right, thank you. B, paving bids.
So I put together a spreadsheet for the road commissioners, and that listed out all states materials, Pike, P&B, and Dayton Sand and Gravel. Both gentlemen were in, they reviewed all of the bids, they reviewed the spreadsheet, and based on all state material being the low bidder and being a reputable company, they are both recommending that the bid be awarded to them.
Okay. Do you want to come up and speak, or you?
That was their recommendation.
That was it, that's their recommendation, okay. Well, we generally go with their recommendation.
Yeah, I mean, I looked at the numbers, I mean, there's a little bit, it's like 35-cent
Right,
difference
but
between
it's
them
not
and
a
the other
huge-
one, but, nope.
If that's what they're happy with, that's,
So, where's the, there it is.
all right. We have to make a motion.
Please.
I make a motion, we, grant the bid to Allstate Construction at a price of $71.40 per ton.
Yeah, I'll second that. So it's been moved and seconded. All in favor? Okay, so what I did.
Just initial that one for me, so I can put it back in the file.
Yep. C, policy, road commissioner town-owned property.
Yep, so the last couple weeks, we kind of talked about putting a policy together. I did go over this with David as the liaison. Will and I kind of talked about it. I haven't had time to reach out to Adam, but this is just a draft, not looking for a signature until next week. But essentially what it says is that any project or road-related maintenance approved by the Board of Selectmen to be done on town-owned property will be performed by the road commissioners at town-approved rates. Funds paid to the road commissioner will be exempt from the Town of Acton's purchasing policy. Below is a list of each property in the road commissioner district that will complete the work as needed. District 1, we have the municipal offices, Mary Grant Preserve, transfer station, and the recreation fields. District 2, the fire station and public safety building, sand and salt shed, and the Lincoln School.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
What about Goat Hill parking lot in the winter? People hike
We
it.
kinda forgot about
Yeah, we
that.
forgot about that one. And that would be District 2 or 1?
H Road.
That'd be one.
1.
Yep. And
Bobby, don't we wanna clarify what they would be doing there? I mean.
Yep, we should,
Because it
but
would
I
be for the
just-
parking lot.
Do we
it would be
pave
for
that-
the
do we plow
trails
that
and
now?
stuff like
No,
that.
no, just be the
No?
parking lot.
Oh, you plow it? Oh, he does plow, okay.
Yeah,
I
so,
just, all right.
And so one of the, when I went over it with the treasurer, one of the concerns she had, we wanted to make sure that it was only the funds, the road commissioner that would be exempt from the policy. So if by chance we did let's just say we didn't have a paving company, that piece would still have to go out. Anything over, if he brings in $10,000 worth of material, he might still have to bid that out. But it's the funds to them. So Goat Hill, and that's why we kind of said approved by the selectmen, because if Goat Hill comes due and they want to redo the parking lot, you would have to approve it first anyways.
but you're listing out the other ones. You
Right,
have
yep,
to
Goat
list
Hill,
that
did we
out.
forget any, Adam, on your side? You've only, make
Yeah,
one
that
to be
was the only
amended,
one I
all
could
right.
think of. All right.
So we'll add Goat Hill, did you have any concerns with that, Adam, the way it sounded? No. Okay. We'll send it over, let Ed review it, and maybe prepare it for signature next week.
Sounds good. All right, new business. A, mass gathering permits.
Mr. Greg Martinez is here on behalf of Iron Tales. You have a memo in front of you that he wrote. I also did send it to you. He is looking for a mass gathering permit for Bike Week. It runs from June 11th to June 20th, although he does note in his memo to you that there's really only 2 events that will really need this and maybe go over the crowded amount that would require a mass gathering. But there's a letter in here, and he's here to address you. He did pay the fee required, and he has provided the liability insurance as required.
Okay. You want to come up?
Evening, Greg Martinez, Iron Tail Saloon. Since I've been up there, we've been doing the Bike Week thing. It's kind of additional business. It's good for us. We primarily see folks that are traveling about the state during the day. Kind of winds down in the evening about 5 o'clock because everybody's heading back to Laconia. That's where all the action is. So it's, it's a win-win for me. I keep the town quiet after hours, and I'm able to make a little bit of money during the day. I do have a couple of events that I think that meet the criteria for requiring a mass gathering permit. One of them is a concert that's happening on June 12th, and that will be an outdoor concert that begins at 6 o'clock. We'll ramp up very tightly at 10 p.m. I am contracting with the fairgrounds for additional parking. I'm also going to be working and hiring a security company out of Portland that specializes in concert security that will be working on site and about the grounds. And also, I will be contacting the sheriff's department and, informing them and coming up with a game plan if by chance there's any incidents. I have the good fortune of really not having very much trouble as far as, patrons go. I generally don't have security because we haven't needed it. The customers are, kind of take care of everything, there's really no issues. But because of the number, the number of people in the evening, I think there's a safety factor that I'm concerned with, and as I'm sure, the town is as well. The other event I've been doing for 10 years, and that's the Burnout Competition. And the actual competition where motorcycles are actually burning their tires is probably less than 25 or 30 minutes, but there's a lot of hype building up to that 25 or 30 minutes, and it's a pretty good draw. Folks come over during the day, and like I said, that will be wrapped up 5 o'clock at the very latest.
So it says the burnout takes place between 2 and 3?
Generally, yes, yep. But the event, everything winds down, the band ends at 5 p.m., so it kind of quiets down like every other typical weekend on site.
So, when he came before the planning board, and I'm not gonna list out the conditions, and Mr. Long is here to assist me if I misspeak, but when, the planning board was very clear that larger gatherings like this would come before the Board of Selectmen, so there was nothing with the planning board tied to these larger events. They took care of the conditions on his conditional use, and they're working those details out, but planning board was clear that these things would come to you based on the number of people, so there's
Okay.
no concerns there, right?
All right.
So we're looking at the condition permit from when?
No, we're looking for a mass gathering, sorry.
I'm sorry.
So he's listed it out for
Mass gathering
the week for his,
I put
just for
everything
coverage.
that's happening. I tried to spell out.
So you
the
want it
entire-
from the 11th to the 20th, but it's really only two.
It's really only two events
Right, but it's-
that are going
yeah,
to.
but you'd
you
like
know,
this to cover.
Meet the criteria for needing a mass gathering permit.
Okay.
And I'm not even so sure that the Burnout Competition would meet it, but I mean,
But
that's
it's
a
in
pretty
there,
good,
yeah.
numbers wise, it's
Yep.
a pretty good day for us as far as the amount of people that come out to see it.
Okay, all right, so I understand. So he's, planning board's all set. Fire chief.
I did send,
is he- I was gonna say,
I sent
is
it
that
over to the
something we-
fire chief, I did not hear back from him.
All right.
Certainly, we have some time.
Okay.
And I'm available at any time for any
Okay.
questions by email or in person or whatever. And once I, when I have, if needed, I can provide, the information on this security company that I'm gonna be contracting with. I don't meet with them, I was supposed to meet with them tonight, but they had to postpone, and gonna be meeting with them this coming week,
Okay.
so.
Could we meet next Wednesday? We'll have Ed here and then we could all make a decision on it. And, I mean, is that too late? And if it is,
Well, I mean, I guess next Wednesday is gonna be June 2nd, I have to believe he's gotta book some of these. I
Okay,
mean, do you have any concerns?
I mean, I don't have a problem with it either. I just didn't know if there was anything else we needed to
You're
check.
looking for the mass gathering from June 11th to June 20th.
Yep.
That's what you're looking
He's put the insurance in
That's
place.
the bike
You've got the
week, though.
insurance. I mean, you're going above and beyond with the,
I mean, you can put the,
I got
stipulate.
porta potties are going in place,
Yeah.
Friday.
Okay,
To cover them, and obviously sanitation is all on me, and I know when I rent the fairgrounds, I've got to provide them with a bond, I've got to provide trash cans,
okay.
The, as far as the fire chief, he spoke at the public hearing
Right.
regarding the liquor license, and he didn't have any concerns, then he went down and reviewed the building. So I can't imagine anything's
Okay,
changed, but you
so-
could, if you wanted, to put that condition in there, assuming any issues from the fire chief were addressed, granted, if you felt that
I
you
have
wanted to do.
contacted him on my own just to bring it to
Yeah,
his
so,
attention.
and we've emailed them and the sheriff's department, we've already told them, so.
So-
we could. Nobody got
Let's
back.
make I think we should just make a decision then. I mean, I don't have a problem with them.
I make a motion we approve the mass gathering permit from June 11th through June 20th for Iron Tail Saloon.
I'll second that. So it's been moved and seconded. All in favor? All opposed?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Tomorrow or Friday, pick up a copy.
All right, done. June meeting dates.
June meeting dates. So, I was thinking, so there are 5 Wednesdays in June, and you know how each Wednesday you come in and say, oh, no, I'm just kidding. I was thinking that, in between, since we have town meeting, we have elections that maybe, and we have 5 Wednesdays, that if you didn't have anything real pressing, we could get rid of one of those Wednesdays.
Sure.
I was thinking the day after the election, which would be June 9th.
That'd be a great idea.
It just gives us a break to, we're pretty much prepared for town meeting. The election of the people on the floor is what's going to, because of COVID and us not doing it, is creating a little extra work. We're still doing our best to train and help downstairs, so 1 week would make a difference, so.
All right, and-
Looking for no meeting on Wednesday, Wednesday, June 9th.
Make a motion.
Guys are okay with that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Perfect.
All right. Poll permit.
Mr. Winchell has it in his possession.
Yep, I do. This one here, West Ridge. Okay, I'm going here for Acton Ridge.
Oh, the windows aren't opening.
133.
Do we normally make a motion on these? These are kind of,
Yeah, so there was actually, I had a municipal law class, it's funny you asked that, I did a webinar yesterday and today on municipal law, and they're saying the primary purpose of it pertains to when they're in the right of way, but they're more just an acknowledgement that you know they're going in there, so they do want a motion.
All
okay.
right, so make a motion that we accept Central Maine Power's application for pole location. Do I need to pole 133 on Acton Ridge Road?
Perfect.
I'll second that.
Moved and seconded, all in favor? Okay. Do we have to sign this somewhere?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. There we go.
Hey, did you gotta get that window open, Cheryl, and I'm gonna die over here.
It's
Can you
hot.
see if you can get that window open?
Where's the
Either
fans?
one of them. It's like all of a sudden,
Last week it was cold, now this week, no, I'm just kidding, but.
like an idiot, I can't get the window open.
All right.
Thank you.
D, new business, code enforcement officer?
I think we already did that.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Need to appoint him.
Oh,
Sign
you want us to
appointment.
appoint you? Okay, all right, yeah.
That'd be a good idea.
I said, why is he on here
Yeah.
then? All right. All right, so, do we have paperwork?
Yeah.
I
What?
got it right
You
here.
got it? I don't have it. All right, your
Paperwork.
turn.
Cheryl, did you hear that?
Okay, so.
It's hot in here.
I guess I'll make a motion there, we certify, I'm gonna read it right off. Certify of appointment, title 3A MSRA 2602, by the Selectmen's Office, Municipality of Acton, Maine, to Jason Sivany, the Selectmen of the Municipality of Acton, do in accordance to the provisions of laws of the state of Maine, hereby appoint you as code enforcement officer within and for the Municipality of Acton until 6/30/2022.
I'll second that. Now it's been moved and seconded. Are we in favor? All in favor? All opposed?
That one's for the, nope, don't sign that one.
Don't sign- oh, okay.
Sign that one, that one's for the next one.
Oh, okay.
It's not on the agenda separately.
No?
No, I just said, wink. Sad. This is the E911 operator, I didn't list
All
on the
right,
agenda.
I'll let you
separately,
sign
sorry.
that, and then I'll make a motion. So, to do the certificate of appointment, Title 30A MRSA 2602, Selectman's Office of the Municipality of Acton, Maine, to Jason,
Sivany.
did you say Sivany?
Sivany.
Okay, Sivany. I want to say Sivigny, I don't know why. The Selectmen of the Municipality of Acton do, in accordance with the provisions of the laws of the state of Maine, hereby appoint you as E 911 Assessing Officer within and for the Municipality of Acton until 6/30/2022, given under our hand the 26th day of May, 2021.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor? All opposed?
That should actually say addressing officer, so you don't have to sign it, I gotta fix it.
It's supposed to say address.
E911 addressing officer.
Oh, okay, not
But I'll fix
assessing.
it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those last things.
I'll get your last name.
Don't you know a ton of Sivanys are like everywhere, almost as bad as
No,
Rubes?
I don't.
No, you don't?
Other than, you know,
Jason.
the police guy, and now Jason. All right, moving on, transfer station.
So this is something that I wasn't involved in because I was in the middle of the webinar, but I understand that, the superintendent spoke to you.
He did.
Take it away.
I met with the, transfer station. So I met with the transfer station superintendent, was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. And last year on Memorial Day weekend, the transfer station, obviously it's not open on Memorial Day, and there was a lot of complaints, there was a lot of traffic, and anyhow, he would like to be open on Memorial Day. And at the time, I did, you know, I thought that would be a good idea. But it is a holiday, and it's also in our policy, and it's also very late to be telling the guys that work there that they have to work this weekend. If it's something that Bob really wants to do in the future, you know, maybe it's something we can revisit, but I don't think that there's enough time to tell the other people at the dump that they have to work this weekend. I don't know if they have plans, maybe they don't. But, and again, we have a policy that federal holidays,
It's a federal holiday.
it's a federal holiday, so maybe we should open Sundays earlier than June 1st, something I was thinking about, for next year.
But in that, maybe what we ought to be doing is opening up on Tuesday following Monday.
Right, we talked about
That way
that.
there, because you got the people who are leaving, this and that, but, to have the employees out there working on a federal holiday, it's just not fair to them.
I understand Bob's concern. I mean, there was a lot of traffic and complaints on Facebook, and I wish we had talked about this sooner. I just wish he had thought about this, a month and a half ago, or one of us had thought about it, but I didn't, and so I don't
We
think...
weren't open last year on Memorial Day, correct?
No, and that's kind of where this all stemmed from, because, what's it, like a 2-mile line? We talked about maybe seeing if maybe he would want to be open on Tuesday, David had said,
Tuesday, just like the Tuesday after Memorial Day?
Right.
Yeah, that'd make more sense.
With that-
I mean, But, obviously, there's gonna be issues because people leaving on Memorial Day to go back, to wherever they come from and all that, so, but, I don't believe they should be working on a federal holiday like everybody else doesn't, so.
Well, I don't even think that, the more I think about it, again, it's a policy, and I think we would have to change our policy, and we don't have time for that again, so.
So I'm to see if they want to open on Tuesday, otherwise we'll stick to the regular schedule, is that what I
Right.
kind of heard?
I did touch on a little bit about, maybe changing and opening up earlier before,
Yeah,
so that
and-
they're open on Sunday next year, so.
I did talk to the superintendent about
Yeah.
changing of hours, and he talked about, I asked him to come next week and asked you not to make a decision on the
Yeah,
whole thing
yeah.
unless he was here, so
Yeah, definitely,
we'll see if he wants to do that.
okay. All right, let's see here,
Executive session.
your turn.
I make a motion, and we go into, do you wanna do public comment first?
Actually, yes. Do we have any public comment? Evening.
A couple of things to be aware of. If this property that you guys are talking about, which is in resource protection, which I believe probably it is,
Okay.
if you remove the building, nobody's gonna be able to put a building back on there.
If we remove the building,
If you
right? Because it
remove
would
the
make it, okay.
They have to get their permits from the planning board with the existing building. And then the planning board would do a best practical location and give them a permit to be able to build a new house on it. If you remove the building, when I've been through this best practical location in resource protection in the last couple of months with my place and my son Brian's place. So it definitely would affect the value of it if what I'm saying is accurate, which, and
If
I
we're-
used to think that I would be grandfathered when the town redid the resource protection back in 2011. And my attorney and one of the guys that was doing some training, I think he was from the DEP, this winter, I asked that question.
Oh my God, we gotta shut that.
Yeah.
And
Are you gonna shut it now?
he said, definitely not. You're not grandfathered.
Okay, so I will certainly take your word at heart. I will mention it to the code officer. As you know, I don't work in that department. I asked him very quickly to look at the file, and if it was buildable, that was the first response. But we'll have him review the whole thing. Maybe I'll have him reach out to you, and we'll get something in writing from that department that I can hand
We
out
don't
to
wanna
bidders so
take
that
it
we're clear.
down.
And it is buildable, Jen.
In that exact same spot, is what you're saying?
The building
Okay.
still has to be
Okay.
standing.
So
Oh,
if we
so you
took,
can-
if we took the building down, then it's not a buildable
I don't think
lot.
we plan on taking the building down. I think
Well, she did
we're planning on
mention-
just leaving it just the way it is.
Well, I think,
Selling
yeah.
it.
Oh, we're not taking it down, no, but you're talking about prospective buyers?
After that,
Well,
whatever
after
the
that, they
buyer.
can do whatever.
Oh, yeah, we're not taking it down, I'm sorry to be
I'm sorry,
clear.
I thought-
Oh, no,
I
no, no,
thought that's
my
what you
bad,
meant,
no,
too.
no.
I thought
The
we were gonna have
buyers,
to.
the people that are interested that call about it constantly want to know if they can take it down if it's rebuildable. The town, we want out from under it as soon as we can.
Oh, I thought you guys.
I'm
could do
sorry.
it with the liability.
Yeah, no, no. Well, no, we want to get out from the whole property as soon as we
No,
can.
that's
That's the
fine.
liability.
I just wanted you guys to be aware.
Okay,
That's good to know.
perfect. Yep.
You have to do that, that's practical location.
And I am going to ask the CEO to give me something in writing so we can hand that out to all bidders, so, thank you.
We had talked back 6, 8 months ago, I brought to the board about the appointments for the planning board. That the town meeting had voted, it's supposed to be 5-year appointments. And we've made appointments since, and we haven't followed the vote of the town meeting, so.
The appointments that have been made since, they have been replacement, so they've kept the same term. So as I understood it, what they said, that as those terms came due, you know what I mean? So let's just say that when we moved Mrs. Pearson to replace Mr. Driscoll, she took the remainder of his term, but when that term comes due, that was the timing that they wanted to see the original, you know what I mean? What was done at town meeting, as you indicated, because nobody's found that. I'm not gonna, we haven't, and then that's where the 5 years, if that's the case, starts.
You start varying the terms to make them alternating.
Yeah, and they're varied now. They should be varied now. So I'd have to pull the file, though.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, the board hasn't forgot about it, but as I understood it, and I could be wrong, and
If we
certainly
did,
tell me.
if
We were
somebody
gonna do it
new
as they
came in this
due.
year, they would get a
And I thought we
5-year.
had talked about also possibly changing that and revoting.
So if it was an ordinance, and I have not looked it up, but if it was an
Yeah, but-
ordinance, which is what he's
Voted on town
saying,
meeting.
it would have to, right, we'd have to
Yeah.
change it there, so that wouldn't happen until next year.
Right, it was a town meeting vote, it wasn't
Okay.
an ordinance.
Yeah.
So it was an out-town meeting?
Yes,
Okay,
town
so it would be
meeting
an
vote.
ordinance creating the committee.
it was a warrant article. that
Yeah,
did,
so, yeah,
So
same thing.
maybe it's the same thing then.
Yeah.
I'm not
I'll
sure.
find it, I will find it.
The other thing is, your code enforcement, you guys made the decision, and I don't know if you made a policy or whatever you did, that they don't have to do electrical inspections. That you're gonna go through the state.
Yes, we did it last week.
Yeah, last week.
Well, in our ordinance, it says that they have to do electrical inspections. That's in our zoning board.
Okay.
So in order to alleviate that, you'd have to change the wording in the ordinance.
How do we, this is probably a stupid question, all right? I'm not a builder, I'm not an electrician, okay? But
Me neither, really.
if our code enforcement officer isn't a licensed electrician, how can they go in and give inspections?
They don't have to be an electrician, they have to be certified to do the inspection.
Just certified, so they don't
Same
have
thing with your
to, I was just wondering, I mean,
Same thing with your plumbing, there's 3 criteria.
okay, so
to
it's,
be
so it's just they have
code
classes and they don't have to have the,
You have to be a building inspector, a plumbing inspector, and an electrical inspector.
And
And
our-
that's in our ordinance.
We'll look into it.
We're one of the only towns, obviously, in the area that do that, because nobody else does that.
okay,
Well, I
yeah.
can give it
So it'd be something we'll have to
Yeah,
change.
that's fine, we can make some copies, yeah,
It's on page 20 in our ordinance.
okay. I'll give you a copy too. We'll look at it and, figure it
I
out.
got no,
But either way, we're right now, we don't have anybody
Yeah.
who can
I mean,
legally do it,
yeah.
so it has to be done, it has to be done by a state guy anyway, so.
So if we
Right
have to
now.
call a special town meeting, then we call a special town meeting. So we'll sort it out, we'll look into it and, yeah,
But At
absolutely.
this point, in fairness to Jason, should be a goal under our ordinance, which he has.
Which we've made it, that we don't want that, so we've gotta work on changing the ordinance.
But until the
Oh,
ordinance
we
is
just talked
changed,
that-
you gotta follow.
Well, we could
We
have
have a
a,
special town meeting, or if
See
we
if we
have
could get
something
it
to
changed.
piggyback on, we will.
Yeah.
But I mean, to have
To
him,
follow the laws is all I'm saying.
yep,
yeah.
thank you for bringing this to our attention.
There's been a couple of other small minor things that you may be considering a special town meeting sooner than you think, so.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
All right, we'll add it to the
All
list.
right, anybody else? Any other public comments? All right, then,
I'm gonna make a motion, we go into executive session, personnel matter 405-6A.1 at 6:44.
I'll second that. So it's been moved and seconded. All in favor? All opposed? Be back in a few minutes.
Motion, we come out of executive session, personnel matter 405-6-A1 at 7:11.
I'll second that. It's been moved and seconded. All in favor? All opposed? All right, so we just came out of an executive session, and we have decided, we had applications for the transfer station position, and the superintendent and I had three candidates we met with yesterday, and they were all great candidates. It was actually kind of hard to pick, but I think that we're going to go with candidate C, our last one that we saw. So,
Yeah, we want to notify the other people.
right.
Before we announce the actual
Yep,
individual, so.
let her know, let them know, and then next week, we'll give you a name. If that,
What's the starting rate?
that's a motion. Do you like
Starting rate
that?
of, starting rate of pay?
Oops, not right there.
Starting rate of
Oh,
pay for the
starting rate of
record?
pay will be $14 an hour.
Thank you.
I'll second that.
All right, so it's been moved and seconded. All in favor? Opposed? Well,
I make them, we got public.
no, we did that.
Announcements.
Announcements.
Yeah,
Do we
they're
have
not-
any announcements?
Nope, not yet. We've got
Okay.
some meetings in June,
Okay.
selectmen meetings, and this planning board, obviously, there's an extra planning board meeting, capital improvement,
Okay.
they're on the website, or they will be
Okay.
soon.
All right, well then,
Make a motion, we adjourn.
all right, I'll second that. All in favor? Moved and seconded, all in favor? All opposed?
Yep. Good.
Have a good night, everybody.